Missouri women's basketball is also on a 2-game losing streak, but this one's a little more understandable. They went up against two top 25 teams in South Carolina and Georgia.
Now, they were able to keep it close. That will be this Sunday.
On a more winning note, Mizzou wrestling team, they dominated in the Cowboy Classic, going up against wrestlers from the 6th-ranked Oklahoma State team, Wyoming, and West Virginia. The Tigers had 3 individual champions in Brock Mahler, Josh Edmonds, and Dak Punky.
That's a big win. Number 5, number 6, Florida.
And speaking of Diamond Sports, baseball is also back. Mizzou opens its season with a 3-game slate at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix. That series starts on Friday.
Well, that's all the headlines we have today. Let's take it to our top 3 plays this week.
All right, top 3 plays of the week. Let's start off with gymnastics. Gabrielle Gotula on the vault sticks the landing for the Tigers. Look at that finish right there. Mizzou Gymnastics winds up winning this meet versus Auburn thanks to this awesome stick by Gotula.
See that one again.
And then 5th-ranked Mizzou Wrestling, Brock Mahler with the big moves as he moves his record up to 13-0 on the season. We talked about this big Mizzou Wrestling win in that meet over the weekend. Missouri 12, Oklahoma 7, NCAA Tournament Basketball on KCOU 88.1 FM. Jack McGrath alongside Will Nolte, and a quick start for the Missouri Tigers as Mark Smith has 2 triples to open up this game, and the Missouri Tigers offense is rolling.
Absolutely rolling right now, led by Smith outside with the 2 3-pointers. Tillman down low already has 4 points. He's doing a great job of really facilitating the offense down low and drawing so many Oklahoma Sooners to him to create the space on the outside. Missouri with a 5-point lead right now. I believe Austin Reeves is coming up to the free throw line in just a few moments when we come back. Haven't really said his name tonight too much, but he's the other Oklahoma player who made the All Big 12 and definitely their highest score, 17.7 points per game on the season and an 86% free throw shooter.
You mentioned Austin Reeves. He was 2nd in scoring in the Big 12. He was an all Big 12 first-teamer as well. Missouri, a quick start for them. They are looking for their first tournament win since 2009. It's been a while. Conzo Martin in his tenure only has 1 other tournament appearance, but it looks like the Missouri Tigers have gone off to a quick start, taking advantage of the missing Davion Harmon, who we mentioned earlier, one of the top defenders for Oklahoma. He is missing today. He is one of their starting guards, and Missouri has taken advantage with quick offense. Xavier Pinson getting out on the break and distributing to Missouri scorers.
And when you think of Oklahoma basketball, they've certainly have the experience in the tournament of the past 10 years, especially with the squad they currently have right now, but they've had Buddy Hield in the past. They've had Trey Young in the past. Definitely a lot more history in the NCAA tournament than Missouri in the past decade or so.
Reeves at the free throw line misses the first one. He's an 86% free throw shooter on the year. The first one was short off the rim. He lines up number 2, pounds it once, and misses the second one as well. So maybe some nerves coming into the game for Oklahoma as they miss the first couple of free throws that they have off the bat. Pinson gets the rebound. He's going up the other way. Right-handed drive, dishes it out. Kobe Brown at the top of the key, straight away, thinks about it. 2 dribbles with the right, goes up and under, in the lane, and from the right block, Kobe Brown for 2, puts Missouri up 14-7 over Oklahoma.
Seems like a different almost mindset from the Tigers right now. They're comfortable almost going with the isolation, something we haven't seen too much this entire season from the Tigers.
Oklahoma basketball, they have it at the top of the key. It's dished down low to Brady Manning. He has its step-back jumper from about 15 feet out. Haynes on the rim is short and rebound pulled down by Mitchell Smith. Xavier Pinson's going the other way. He has it on the strong side. Wing crosses over, goes through the legs with it. Drew Smith on the left side. Pump fakes in the lane from the block. Misses the layup. It's off the glass and out. And Oklahoma pulls down the rebound. They are going the other way. Williams has it on the right side wing. Dribbles with the left to the top of the key. Trying to work on Mitchell Smith. Goes through the lane before he dishes it back out. Now here's the drive from Hill in the lane from the right block up against Kobe Brown. Good defense from Kobe Brown, and it misses, and Mitchell Smith pulls down the rebound. Missouri will have to pull it down after an errant outlet pass as it bounces off Xavier Pinson, but stays on this end, so Missouri has it up the half-court stripe. Drew Smith on the right wing. Holding it, gives it to Kobe Brown, top of the key, straightaway triple, misses everything. It goes over the baseline and out of bounds after the air ball from Kobe Brown. 14-7, Missouri leads Oklahoma with just about 14:30 to go in the first half.
Yeah, just a poor shot from Kobe Brown right there. He was able to take it because of the pump fake on his last drive and was able to get to the basket on when he drove to the basket last time around. But this time, just kind of pulled it up from the top of the key and missed it well to the right and short I believe. Just a very poor shot from Kobe Brown, something he really could have just passed up right there.
Drew Buggs and Torrance Watson into the game as Smith and Brown take a seat. Manick from the right side wing hits the triple, and Brady Manick, another important scorer for this Oklahoma team, hits the three to get Oklahoma back within 4. 14-10, Missouri leads. Just over 14 minutes to go. Mitchell Smith has it in the corner. Dishes it to Mark Smith at the wing before it's given back to Mitchell Smith. Left side wing, he holds it. Mark Smith on the left side wing again, holding the ball, looking to get it down low to Tillman. Mitchell Smith has it top of the key. 9 on the shot clock now. Watson, no offense movement from Missouri here. Watson near the high post. Backdoor cut from Drew Buggs. He has a chance, goes up with it with the right, but good defense from Manick. Drew Buggs pulls down his own rebound, gets it back out, and Missouri will reset. Mitchell Smith in the corner. Bounce passes it down low to Tillman. He's double teamed on the block. 2 dribbles out, about 15-foot jumper. It misses from Jeremiah Tillman. It's off the front of the rim, and Austin Reeves pulls down the rebound for Oklahoma. He's on the right wing, crosses over against Drew Buggs, goes through the lane, cuts through the lane in the middle of the lane, and one finish from Austin Reeves as he has 2 more points, and he'll be going to the line for 1 more off the glass from the right block.
Oklahoma with their first chance of the game to take the lead for the first time this game, and it's really set up because since the timeout was called, Missouri has come up pretty slow on defense, and it's really due to the Oklahoma on offense due to the Oklahoma defense that's being played. But Oklahoma's doing really well, not fouling at all. They've committed 0 fouls this entire game.
Reeves sinks that free throw after missing his first 2 of the game, puts Oklahoma down by 1 here as Missouri leads 14-13. 13:23 to go in the first half.
And Oklahoma only commits 14.4 fouls per game, the 14th fewest in the NCAA. So Missouri is really going to need to start drawing some from them if they want to do anything to get them in a little bit of foul trouble later on this game.
And after that Reeves and 1, we see Drew Smith check back in the game. We know his love for defense, and he checks back in. He'll probably be guarding Reeves throughout the course of this game as Reeves is a great scorer for Oklahoma. Smith has it at the top of the key, gives it off. Buggs on the right wing. Floats a pass over to Mitchell Smith before it's swung back around, and Drew Smith has it at the top of the key. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 2 dribbles in. He's double teamed. Mitchell Smith pulls it straight away. Triple is no good. Rebound bounced back out by Tillman, but I think they're going to get him for an over-the-back foul here as it'll be Oklahoma basketball with 12:55 to go in the first half. Missouri leads 14-13 over Oklahoma.
Just another poor foul from Missouri, and I believe they're entering or just nearing 3 minutes without scoring a basket in this one. Letting Oklahoma go on just a bit of a run right now, something they really can't do because that's really been the story of Missouri basketball all season, letting their opponents get on runs and get in places that they can't get themselves out of early in the game.
Here comes Oklahoma. Corner triple is passed up, pump fake, and 2 steps in. 15-foot jumper is long from Alondis Williams. Rebound pulled down by Missouri. Drew Buggs takes it the length of the court. He has it at the top of the key, crosses over. Gives it to Javon Pickett on the left wing. He cuts through the lane inside the middle of the paint. He's blocked, and it balls up in the air, but goes down on the ground for a while before Oklahoma finally picks it up. Reeves through the lane. It's poked away by Drew Smith. Ball's on the ground, and we will get a jump ball here as Drew Smith was tangled up on the floor. Missouri 14, Oklahoma 13. 12:19 to go in the first half.
Yeah, the possession error is in favor of Missouri, so great eyesight there from Drew Smith to just pounce on top of that ball and get the ball in possession for Missouri to get it right back. Now they have to start producing something on the offensive end to really end this scoreless drought.
Missouri doesn't have a point in the last 3 minutes and 17 seconds of this game, so a big scoring drought as Oklahoma has clawed their way back in it after an early start from Missouri. Drew Buggs dribbles it up the floor. He gives it off to Drew Smith about 30 feet away from the basket. Mitchell Smith straight away. He's wide open for 3 if he wants it. Instead decides to give it to Drew Buggs on the left wing. Smith on the left wing, dumps it down low. Jeremiah Tillman on the block, double team, turns himself around after his back was to the basket. 7 seconds on the shot clock as Drew Smith has it at the top of the key. 2 dribbles in, 15-foot jumper, off the backboard, clanks off the backboard hard, but Jeremiah Tillman pulls down the rebound. We're going to get another jump ball. This time the possession arrow will favor Oklahoma. 14-13, Missouri leads with 11:48 to go in the first half, and that's going to send us to a TV timeout. This is the NCAA Tournament Basketball on KCOU 88.1 FM. I'm Jack McGrath for MUTV 23, where the Missouri Tigers are taking on the LSU Tigers for the second night in a row to finish off the second half of a back-to-back. Missouri was able to pull out the win last night
in 5 sets. They got off to a slow start, losing the first set, wound up carrying the match and won it in 5 sets. Kylie DeBerg led the team with 24 kills, but Anna Dixon was really the story, having 20 kills on a .329 hitting percentage. They'll look to repeat their success from last night against Taylor Bannister and the LSU Tigers once again tonight.
Missouri ready to go against LSU, looking to improve their record to 8-2 on this season. First set, Missouri attack starts off strong. Claudia Dillon here puts it away, puts Missouri up 12-8. Now set point in set 1. Kylie DeBerg puts the kill down. She had 23 kills on the night. Missouri looking good to start it off, but set 2 and set 3 were really all LSU after a 25-23 win in set 2. Set 3 here, set point. Taylor Bannister with the kill. That gives LSU the 25-18 third set win. Now, after a .093 hitting percentage in set 3, Mizzou's attack gets going again in set 4. There's Leandra Manuel Duran puts the point away. Anna Dixon, as the set is winding down with a couple of aces. And then 23-18 is the score. And Kylie DeBerg once again puts the point away after getting blocked the first time. Opening up set 5 now. Anna Dixon serving 5 times in a row, puts Missouri up 5-0. She has a pair of aces there. So 5 total aces on the game for her. And then set point, match point. Who else but Kylie DeBerg again? Missouri wins set 5, 15-10.
Those are their last 2 chances here to send a team to the Sweet 16. Now, if you look at the Big Ten, they beat up on each other throughout the entire year. The Big Ten was so good, apparently, that a 15-12 Michigan State team was in the NCAA tournament. There were 3 games over 500. 3 games over 500. Because they had quality wins against other opponents in the Big Ten. Penn State was 11-14 this year, and it was ranked 42nd in the net rankings. That's how good the Big Ten was this year. I'm putting air quotes around that. Adam sees me doing that. The Big Ten was overrated throughout the entire year. They beat up on each other.
That's what they always do.
Which they always do. But this year, there were limited out-of-conference games, and everybody thought the Big Ten proved it out of conference. The Big Ten had the best out-of-conference record out of any conference. But the teams that they played were typically good, but were not good this year, and it inflated the Big Ten's resume. If you look at those top teams that were seeded in the Big Ten, look at Quadrant 1 wins, which is what the net rankings use and what the selection committee looks at as quality wins. So that is teams ranked 1-30 in the net rankings for a home game, 1-50 for a neutral site game, and 1-75 for an away game for these teams. That would be qualified a quality win according to the net rankings. Ohio State, Illinois, Iowa, and Michigan. And their out-of-conference games combined for 2 Quad 1 wins. 2. One of those wins, an Ohio State Quad 1 win, versus UCLA, categorized as a Quad 1 win because it was at a neutral location. That neutral location was Cleveland. The other Quad 1 win was an Iowa win over North Carolina. I'll give you that one. Good win by Iowa. I think Iowa was fine seated where they were. They had the national player. They had one of the best players in the entire nation in Luka Garza.
But wait, are you saying Illinois is overrated too?
I'm not saying Illinois is overrated.
Because they had 2 of the best players in the nation.
Yes. I think Kofi and Io are good. This is the argument I'm going to make.
You're crazy.
I'm not saying that Illinois was overrated. I think Illinois was a 1 seed. I think Iowa was a 2 seed. I think Ohio State was overrated. I don't think Ohio State should have been a 2 seed over teams like Arkansas, over teams like maybe Texas. I don't see where they should fit in. I think they were overrated based on the resume.
Texas lost first round too.
I think that's fair.
So we
I
can't
think that's one game. I'm overreacting to a tournament.
They don't get any credit for anything. They don't get any credit. They get as much. They should be getting as much slander for me that you right now is Ohio State because Ohio State, obviously Oral Roberts was a 15 seed. No,
Yes.
but Oral Roberts has one of the better offenses in the country, I believe, and they have the the nation's leading scorer.
Yes.
So, and then they just knocked Florida's. No, knocking off Florida was meh because Florida's not that good anyways. But
you have Ohio State, who had 11 losses, if you include the game against Oral Roberts. But if you look at the regular season, including the Big Ten tournament, they had 10 losses throughout the year. 10! They lost 10 games. Usually that puts you on the bubble, unless you have really good competition. And apparently, they had really good competition because the Big Ten was so good. And if you look at who they played out of conference, maybe they weren't as good as everybody thought they were. Those top teams, which inflated the schedules and the strength of schedule for the rest of the Big Ten. You look at Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State, and who am I missing here? Why did I just name blank on that? You look at Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State, and Illinois. And you look at those teams. They were consistently in the top 10 week to week. They were in the top 10 of the net rankings. And they didn't beat anybody good out of their conference. Yet, they were looked at as premier teams because they beat up on each other when realistically, they hadn't beaten anybody else.
well, here's another thing. Do you want to see? I'm going to give you the college basketball's power index, basketball power index right now.
Yep.
I want you to tell me the top. I want to tell you the top 10 teams in terms of strength of schedule. Number from 10 to 1. You ready?
Yep.
Ohio State.
Yes.
Kentucky, Michigan State, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa State, Rutgers, and Penn State.
Yeah.
I'm going to go further. Then Nebraska at 11, 12 Minnesota, 13 Purdue, Iowa, Georgetown, Missouri. Wow. So one year, and I just want to say, where do you think Gonzaga's on here? I'm not saying Gonzaga's overrated.
Oh, Gonzaga's got to be way down. They're probably in the hundreds.
94.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So we're gonna get on the Big Ten for only playing each other, but then playing meh teams. Why aren't we? Gonzaga's undefeated and they deserve to be. They're a great team, but why aren't we gonna get on them for this too?
I'm not going to get on Gonzaga for this
won?
because they won every single one of their games. There's a difference here. There's a distinct difference between Gonzaga going 26-0 in the regular season or whatever they wound up being, because they're undefeated. They've won over 20 games and are undefeated, versus an Ohio State team that gets into the tournament as a number 2 seed, meaning they are a top 8 team in the nation, after going 21-10 in the regular season, which is a decent record. They won 2/3 of their games, but it's not a 2-seed record, and a team that before the Big Ten tournament had lost 4 games in a row. They were not good enough to be a 2-seed, but their record and strength of schedule looked better than it actually was because the Big Ten was entirely overrated this season. That is why they are going to have no Sweet 16 teams. Moving on, a guy we know that is for sure out heading forward, Drew Brees, had that rib injury. We knew that he was going to be out for a little bit, was officially put on IR this afternoon, so he is out for at least 3 weeks. Taysom Hill, named the starting quarterback. Taysom Hill, not Jameis Winston. Apparently they paid him $20 million for a reason, because maybe he can still throw the ball. So Taysom Hill will be running the show for the New Orleans Saints. What does this mean? Taysom Hill might be a startable quarterback in fantasy. He's certainly a startable tight end if the website you're playing on lists him as a tight end like ESPN does. Definitely a startable tight end for Taysom Hill. Probably a startable quarterback. Low-end QB1 or high-end QB2 just because of the running potential. I'm a little bit lower on him than Shane and Lucas, but still, the potential sky high for Taysom Hill. Jameis Winston, no value at this point. We'll see what happens this week. I'm a little more hesitant. I'm surprised that Jameis Winston wouldn't get any snaps whatsoever or wouldn't be in that offense because I think they probably still need somebody that can throw the ball downfield a lot. So we'll wait a week to see on that. But right now, Taysom Hill can be started in your lineups. Jameis Winston's going to have to sit Drew Brees, obviously, out.